So, how do you explain one of the most complicated economic disasters in all of history? Well, as it turns out, the answer involves a whole bunch of monkeys and an absolute mountain of bananas. Let's peel back the layers on this wild story.
I mean, just look at this. In 1929, the world is on top, the market's at an all-time high. But then, just 4 years later, that prosperity is completely gone. We're talking 12 million people out of work and a global economic meltdown. It was an absolutely staggering turn of events.
So, that's the big question, right? How on earth did it all go so wrong, so incredibly fast? To really get that, we need to rewind the clock a bit.
Okay, so our story really kicks off right after the Great Monkey War, which, is our stand-in for World War I. America comes out of it as a major world power, while Europe is pretty much left picking up the pieces.
But here's the thing. Getting back to normal life wasn't so easy. You've got 4 million soldiers coming home, and suddenly demand for everything skyrockets. Prices jump almost 20% in just 1 year. So to get that under control, the Fed raises interest rates to make borrowing money more expensive. But that completely backfired. It crushed businesses, and unemployment almost doubled to 12%. A really tough lesson was learned there.
And that lesson, it leads us directly into the Roaring '20s. Because after seeing how much damage high interest rates did, the government basically said, okay, let's try the complete opposite. And just like that, the boom was on.
The new thinking was pretty simple. If making loans expensive caused a recession, then making them cheap must be the answer, right? So interest rates were slashed, and all of a sudden, companies and regular people could borrow leaves, that's our money in this story, from the bank, and it was unbelievably easy.
This tidal wave of cheap money just fueled an incredible explosion in new technology. The moving assembly line completely changed the game. All these new things started flooding into people's homes. Refrigerators, washing machines, you name it. Radios were telling everyone what to buy. And the Model T car, that became the ultimate symbol that you'd made it.
And to give you a sense of how massive this change was, get this. Thanks to the assembly line, the time it took to build one car went from 12 hours all the way down to just 90 minutes. That's not just a small improvement, it's a total revolution.
So, with all this cool new stuff to buy and super easy loans, a whole new way of life popped up. Buy now, pay later. And this? Well, this is what set the stage for a gigantic bubble. Everyone wanted in on the banana market.
And the main way people did this was through something called buying on margin. It was super simple, but also incredibly dangerous. You could control 100 leaves worth of bananas using only 10 of your own leaves, and you just borrowed the rest. As long as prices kept going up, you felt like a genius.
And that feeling was everywhere.